Good afternoon and welcome to BDTV Roundtable, where we discuss issues of national interest, be they political, social, or economic, as they affect you, of course, as they affect me as well. Today, we turn our focus to politics, and we're going to be looking at the last Saturday by-election conducted by INEC across 12 states of the Federation, where the APC sort of, exert itself as well, grabbing about 16 of the legislative, 12 of the 16 legislative, seats that were contested by the various political parties. Since the election, so many people have said, oh, look, APC is showing strength ahead of 2027. And of course, other political parties have also said, look, the election was not really free and fair. I mean, there have been allegation, there have been accusation and counter-accusation across party lines. And so today we'll be discussing this issue, and I have with me in the house to discuss this Mr. Zebulon Agomuo, who is the Sunday editor of BusinessDay newspaper. Mr. Zeb, welcome.
Thank you for
and as well as Mr. Uroko, who is the assistant editor here at BusinessDay. Mr. Uroko, welcome.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, so like I said in my intro, APC was able to win 12 of the 16 legislative seats that contested, in last Saturday's by-election conducted by INEC. Mr. Zell, I'll start with you. People are saying, look, in fact, APC itself is saying, look, we are still popular among Nigerians despite the economic hardship that people complain so much about, and the people still love us. And that what we saw last Saturday is an endorsement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his policies, and which people, APC say, look, it's turning Nigeria around, it's turning the economy around. Of course, on the other hand, Labour Party, ADC, unfortunately, the ADC did not win any of the legislative seats that were contested. So I'll start with you. How do you see this? Do you really believe that the election, that APC, as they claim, is still popular among Nigerians, and so that the result that we saw was a kind of a confirmation of their popularity among Nigerians, like they have said?
Thank you, Josh. I should start by saying that every party in power essentially wins a larger percentage of elections that we have always conducted in the country. Whether it was during the PDP era or now in the APC era, it has not changed so much. In all the states, we will see when a local government elections are being conducted, the party in charge of those states normally come out victorious. So what happened last Saturday was not different from what we have seen. And it's wrong to begin to say it's a measure of confidence reposed in any party or the ruling party at the center. What I will even say is that it is a signpost to what we are going to see in 2027. It's not so much about the government in power has benefited Nigerians so much, or their policies have turned things around so much for Nigerians that they are now happy to say we are going to vote for the party to continue in power. But what is happening is that, you see, like I have said, if you look at, in your state, PDP won, and APC is kicking in that place because PDP is in charge of the state. If you look at in Kaduna State, APC won and PDP is kicking. If you look at in Kano, there were two constituencies that were contested. NPP won one, and is kicking that APC rigged the other. and APC was kicking that even the one won by ANPP was rigged. So it's just all the potpourri of allegations. But what I'm trying to say in this opening remark is that it's not a measure of any confidence or happiness by Nigerians, or a mark of a signature of Nigerians that the party in power has really benefited or affected them positively. That's what I need to say in this opening remarks. So as we go into...
Thank you, Zeb. Chuka, let me come to you with the same question. What do you share the same view with Zeb, or you have a different view on this?
William Shakespeare is a very well-known playwright. He says that in some situations, foul is fair and fair is foul. And that describes the situation in Nigeria. And when you talk about whether what happened last weekend was a reflection of the love of Nigerians for APC, then I will return to you that say that if that is love, then love should be made of standard stuff. We should look for a real definition of love to get to understand exactly what happened last. So I want to believe that, like my colleague has said, that can never be a reflection of the confidence of Nigerians in APC that has should. Yes, we have seen some parties in the past being in power, like PDP was there for 16 whole years. But the difference between PDP and APC is that during the PDP time, money was, of course, at a point they dubbed them sharing party. Because they will share and the thing will trickle down to the small people. Everybody life was not as bad as it is today. But it's not as if APC is not sharing money. But not people were not feeling the impact. So people just voted because when a party is in power, there's very little or nothing you can do to outdo them. And of course, the way it went, two positions that were contested for in Anambra went to APGA,
Yes.
because that is the power in power there, the party in power. The only position that was contested in Oyo went to PDP. And it is because PDP is in power. In Kano, it's understandable why ANPP and APC share the position, because the man who is a symbol of ANPP is neither here nor there at the moment. All of us know the reputations about whether he's going to join APC or PDP. So for any Kano man, many of them, of course, are sitting on the fence, depending on where the man goes, which side of the divide he now pitches his tent on. That's why that what happened in Kano actually happened. If Okwanzo had remained in ANPP, of course, nobody would try. APC cannot get anything there.
But he's still in NPP.
Yes, I'm just saying that he's neither here nor there.
But even at that, what happened then was that they said against the electoral law that stipulates that results should be announced at the polling units, then again at the collation unit. But the INEC officers refused to announce that and carried everything to his office, and where they announced the result after allegedly manipulating the results. So that was happening in that APC case.
So in the whole analysis, overall analysis, I would say that success or victory went to who paid most. In Anambra State, for instance, the deputy governor and one other person were attacked because they wanted to go there and influence the result. But because APGA is on ground, everybody wants to identify with the APGA. And if you are not APGA, it means you are an enemy, you are a common enemy. Yes. And that's what they were treated as in that part of the...
Okay, so but there's something that stands out here, and that something of concern really. A situation where just like we saw, like you mentioned, in the local government election organized by the State Independent Electoral Commission, in any state at all,
Yeah.
where the ruling party in that state will
Takes it
always
all.
get all the, get all the positions. It seems also now to be also playing out at the even this is
national
the
level.
election conducted by INEC. This is not the election conducted by State
ASNEC
Electoral
or-
Commission, right? This is conducted by INEC. And of course, they've been this talk about, State Electoral Commission should not conduct local government election. In fact, there's this move to say, okay,
Yeah.
INEC should now be the ones they want to conduct
Because of
local
what
government
they
election
saw.
because of this kind of thing. But we also see playing out here, even at the national level,
Mm.
where states, parties that are in control of the various states are the one that,
Yeah.
they're winning all the position in those states. Is that something of concern to you?
Well, you see, the 2023 election and the outcome really left a serious scar on the INEC. Whether it is a state independent electoral commission or the independent national electoral commission, there is no much difference. Nigerians have so much lost confidence in the INEC that even if the national body of INEC conducts election at the local, it is not likely to be anything different. So that's why people are saying there is no difference. So INEC, the manner of appointing the national chairman and the state independent, the manner of appointing their chairman has always raised contention. And people are saying that the National Assembly, which though is populated by the ruling party anyway, has to take over the responsibility of appointing whoever that handles the INEC work. But until we get that, we still have the INEC now. But the truth of the matter is that the way the INEC has over the years conducted election in Nigeria has not been salutary enough. And except something drastic is done to change that trajectory, Nigeria is going to have even the worst election as we go into the next round of national election, the way things are panning. In a place or in a country where every round of election is being contested to the point that the courts now decide our elections or the result of the election, is a very lamentable situation. We thought that after a credible election, everybody goes to your house and say, commend INEC. But since the INEC led by Mahmoud Yakubu bungled, or as it were, or in the eye of Nigeria, some Nigerians, that the 2023 election was bungled, that man has not lived beyond that allegation. And whatever he does today is being seen in that light. So until he redeemed himself, he is still being seen as a compromised umpire. So, and it is on that note that Nigeria believe that there are still some hanky-panky business that are being done, even at the last election. And the winning by some parties, whether they are in Anambra, whether they are in Oyo, whether they are in Kano or in Kaduna, we are not as transparent as they should be. And that gives anybody a serious concern, a cause to concern about the future of election in Nigeria. We are going into some other elections that are very serious. In November now, we are going to Anambra. And for governorship.
Yes.
Only God knows what will happen there. You know, in election, off-season election is even more critical because all the security apparatus and every other thing will be focused on that state. And people say it is even easy to hijack a state because if a ruling party at the center decide to hijack a state that has the election only one day, just like what happened in Edo State. People have not stopped saying that that election was rigged. They may be right or they may be wrong, because election held that in that state, just that particular election, the security apparatus, everything was moved into that place to conduct that election. So if it were a nationwide election, it will not be as difficult as it is, or the controversy wouldn't have been wouldn't have arisen to the point that people are saying that they moved everything there in order to hijack the election. So it's a terrible decision that we need that people are making already.
Yeah. So, Chuka, we are just trying to bring out issues of concern, you know, as far as this last by-election that we saw is concerned, you know. So there's something to that we must also raise here. We discovered that in, for instance, Anambra State, where APGA won, even APC is complaining. Now, in other states where APC won, other states, other political parties are also complaining. There's complaint about, the election was not fair. There was some sort of manipulation and all of that. So, so the question now is that, why has this become, it's like we are stuck. You know, every time we have election and winners are announced, the party that has lost will complain, even when they have won. For instance, APC that has won most of the seats, APC is also complaining. For instance, in Anambra, that there were manipulation, they were not allowed to vote. So the question is, can't party just accept the fact that they have lost and then accept defeat and then move on without complaining? I mean, what
Josh, let me start this way.
Because it seems that we are stuck in this kind of situation. Nobody wants to accept the fact that they have lost or they have been defeated.
Let me start this way. A developing nation is one that is in the process of going toward development, and it means some things are being done to achieve development. But we find ourselves in a society called Nigeria, where we are perpetually developing nation. And because we are developing, or we are not developed, or we are not ready to develop, everything about us is also developing, including our democracy. Democracy in Nigeria is supposed to have by now, since 1999, that some of us came to see. Let us not talk about Second Republic and all those Shagari days. But from Obasanjo time to now, over 16 years, 18 years, or
26
yes.
Uninterrupted democracy. Yet, the most frustrating thing about democracy or our electoral process is that it gets worse incrementally. The election in 2011 is better than the one in 2015. The one in 2015 is better than the one
in 2019.
And then like that.
The one in 2023
we have not seen the worst yet. Because if what we have seen in the last few elections after 2023, these local government and by-election,
and the states
are what we use the yardstick for us to judge the progression or what we are making progress. It means there's a lot to fear. So what I want to say in essence is that our democracy or electoral process is not getting better because as a nation we are not maturing, we are not developing. In developed world, that is the other societies like America, Britain, and the rest of them, one day everything is done and everybody goes his normal business. But why every party is complaining where it loses? It's because the same people are rotating within the circle. It is the same people, so they know what is. Well, if you and I were in one party before, you now move to the other party. There was a time two of us were discussing how we are going to rig the election. So
against the other party.
Yes, you know my tactics. You must have applied that tactics that known to you and I to how to do me. So that's why everybody is complaining.
Yes, they know.
Nobody is. We know what Joshua did to do this,
to
to
do
rig
this
this
thing.
election. And maybe because, as my colleague pointed out earlier, the way we appoint people who oversee or supervise the electoral process is faulty. If INEC, for instance, is actually independent in the real sense of it, it will just sit aloof and allow the process to go. Then it comes back to now decide based on the laws guiding elections. But this one, even INEC itself doesn't apply the laws. What we'll have in our hand now is INEC will do one part as a stage one of winning election. Then the judiciary will complete.
We complete the
So
process.
at the end of the day, INEC will not even take responsibility for what eventually happened. So what I want to say in final analysis is that we have a problem of the fact that our electoral process and the democracy itself is not maturing. So everything that comes from that, we cannot expect it to be better than what produced it.
Yeah.
Like the elections produced by INEC. INEC is largely compromised, and it's not. They are
It's
not
not
even
hidden.
remorseful.
Not hidden and
There's not those who are doing it are not remorseful. That if after 2003 election, a country voted money, decided on a particular new process,
and the chairman did
and
not
then
resign.
the chairman did not resign, and there was no protest, nobody said anything. The man is free. Now asking everybody to cooperate with the INEC. What kind of cooperation again? So it's a very sad development that gives a very gloomy or bleak picture of what we are going to see going forward. Because the people who were produced by 2023 election are not people that I can, honestly say they're going to make things better. Because if somebody tells you you can get to power anyhow, by any means, if you say you can get to power by any means, then if he finds out somebody who comes to power by any means, what do you think the person will do? You say he will even shake hands. Because as bad as what happened last Saturday was, we see even president is not at home, but he's congratulating the people and praising the party who outdid other parties.
His party won, so the president should
So,
congratulate his
we are
party.
in a very
Respected.
deep mess as far as this.
No, if I could add anything to what he has said, you see, the process has so much been compromised to the point that even what the government is doing for the judges, government is building houses, dashing them cars, dashing them a lot of things. And the case is going to their courts and they are going to be the final arbiter of election that is being contested. So your guess is as good as mine, what you're expecting them, because that was what one governor was doing in Rivers State the other time. Somebody was saying if you visited some of the lodges he built for the judges, there's no way anybody could say that this person can go to court and fail.
And equipped the court very well.
So that is exactly what is happening in our electoral process. And like my colleague has said, we are hearing about amendment to electoral acts and all manner of these things. And the question is, who are the people who are going to champion this? Those who came to power through untoward means, fraudulent means. So you cannot put your finger on whatever they do because the process is already compromised. And so Nigeria, like he has said, is in a serious mess. As we move closer to 2027, it should bother every genuine Nigerian that we're in a very critical moment and in a very deep mess, and something has to change.
Okay, but I think we should be a bit more cautious, in saying that 2023 those who came to, because of course a situation where the election it has been
won and lost.
Contested, even to a point where the Supreme Court has ruled. I mean, I think we should just accept the fact that That's how it is.
You invited us here to analyze, to say what you have seen, what we see.
Oh, what do we see?
So
But-
we are
but-
not children. We have been following the process, and we know what is good and what is bad. And we are still.
Let me come back to you with this question. ADC, there's something of that should be of interest to us here. As a matter of fact, ADC is emerging as perhaps the strongest or the main opposition party as we begin to count towards, count down to 2027. As a matter of fact, it's like PDP is receding, so to say, and ADC is getting stronger. The coalition, coalition. But surprisingly, in this by-election, ADC didn't get any seats. But this is the political party that people are looking forward to, contesting strongly against the current administration in 2027. Does this tell us anything?
It doesn't tell anything. It's a wrong reading by anybody who believes that ADC did not perform anything.
Okay.
The ADC that contested the last Saturday election was the ADC
of old.
The original party. The coalition is still being built.
Okay.
The coalition has not come into effect. There is no machinery that you can say this is the. In fact, it's a
work in progress.
It's a work in progress. People are trying to amalgamate to see how they can come together. In fact, you can say that, for instance, today that Atiku Abubakar, he had declared he had left PDP openly.
Yes, yeah.
But that party has not got a chairman. What they have is just a pro tem chairman in David Mark. It is not as if they have started doing anything. The African Democratic Congress that contested the Saturday election was the old party. And by the way, their processes had been concluded before they even started all these things. So it is very wrong for anybody and uncharitable for anybody to say that, we defeated, they didn't do anything, ADC didn't do anything. ADC has not done anything in the past. Which election had ADC won in this country until now? So there is, I think, food is being cooked by those who joined that party. And it is very premature for anybody to say that the water that I'm putting on fire now must have boiled to the point I'm using it to do anything. That thing is too premature. They have not started. So do not arrogate the failure or whatever to the coalition. The coalition is not the ADC. Yeah. So that point should be made and made clearly. I don't belong to ADC, but I have sat down to understand what really happened on that Saturday. It's just like Labour Party. Labour Party was in crisis. The INEC did not even recognize anybody under Labour Party because all the people that were under Labour were disqualified because Abure at that time has ceased to be this thing. So INEC, in its own wisdom, did not recognize any of them. Anybody that went to stand the election under Labour Party was already defeated before the election. So we should be clear on this matter because it won't be okay for us to stay here and the people will be saying that ADC was trounced or something like that. We read the in between lines and know that these things are not really correct.
Yeah, I agree with you, but then people actually expected them to, put on
there is no expectation.
Even if one seat.
There is no expectation.
I think the expectation was based on the caliber of people who
have moved to, who have taken over that party now.
With that, But don't forget that the ADC is just being used as a leverage to form the coalition. It's been adopted to form the coalition. And the coalition is not yet, P2B is still a Labour Party man, and he doesn't hide it. The only thing that this time around, I think he supported the ADC candidate in Anambra, who didn't go anywhere. He scored 1,000 something, 1,000 something votes. So the point remains that there's crisis, and just have to admit that. We are hoping that if ADC, the coalition is formed using ADC as a platform, that's when you can even describe it as a formidable party. Yet, it's not a political party yet.
It's not.
Because those who are coming to leverage that party are still identifying
with the other individual parties. They are not part of this. So
the ADC is not, nobody should talk about it.
Yeah, so as we begin to wrap up, Zeb, let me ask you this last question. What is your greatest fear ahead of 2027 election? Do you have any fear at all? Or what if you have? What's your greatest concern? Really, maybe not fear. Greatest concern.
It's not about concern. It's not about fear. The thing is that I may sound pessimistic. I do not see the election go different from what happened in 2023, because all the signs are pointing towards that. Nigerians have started the registration again with INEC, the ongoing continuous registration exercise, which was done in 2022, and everybody was very happy and all that. So would that amount to anything? Our fingers are crossed. The fear there is that the crop of politicians we have and the kind of money they move about, they will not want anybody to challenge them at all levels. So they have stockpiled a lot of money, and they will continue to stockpile a lot of money to do battle with anybody at any length. So I do not think that the election will be free. The election will be fair. It will still be, maybe we can hope of a free and fair election from 2031, and that's how I look at it.
All right. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, Mr. Uroko and Mr. Zebulon Agomuo, for joining me today on the BDTV Roundtable. And this is where we wrap it up. Thank you so very much for watching until we come your way again next week, Wednesday. Remain blessed. My name is Joshua Bassey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.